I like Georgia to win the football game. I like Kirby Smart to win a 66 game. Georgia winning would actually build into the theory of Notre Dame winning a national championship at some point during the presidency of Joseph Robinette Biden. It doesn't come this year, but if Georgia wins, it really helps support the theory of Notre Dame winning before Biden dies. Next year would be the year. Because in my theory has it that Georgia wins tonight because George Bergoglio is the Pope, aka George. So the father, his team wins right after Georgia is the national champion. Has everything to do with the Jesuits and the Vatican. Jorge, George Bergoglio, Georgia. If the Georgia Bulldogs win, then the Fresno State Bulldogs quarterback is going to win. So Georgia should be able to win. Plus, they got to get one back at some point, right? I mean, didn't Alabama beat Clemson the first year or whatever? So, probably Clemson did beat Alabama the second time around or whatever. So the second time around, Georgia and Alabama would have to be Georgia winning. But is racism why Brian Flores is no longer the Dolphins coach? Or is it just straight up delusion? When you have an owner who lives and works at New York, who is so far away, disconnected from his franchise, is everybody really going to be on the same page from the coach and the GM and the rest of the scouts? They're not going to be connected at all. It is, I can definitely say it's the Harbaugh delusion. That's why Brian Flores is no longer there. Jim Harbaugh will not repeat the Jed York Trent Bach power struggle. He will not repeat that episode at Miami. He will already have a quarterback with the Raiders. He likes Mark Davis. He likes Sylvan Black. He is the Raiders quarterback coach. The Raiders will focus on football. Nothing will leak out with Jim Harbaugh because Mark Davis has got a secret backdoor agreement with Jim Harbaugh because Mark Davis says, hey, nothing is going to be uttered out of our mouths from the Harbaugh camp or the Davis camp about Harbaugh because right now, at the moment, we're only focused on football in the next week ahead. And that's what's going on. You will not hear anything until after February the 13th. Because the Raiders are just going to keep it focused what's on the field right now, and everything that's been communicated has already been happened behind closed doors, but they don't want to leak it out because they want the players to stay focused on the mission ahead. Harbaugh will not want to repeat that power struggle saga that he had in San Francisco. Harbaugh has control to all of the keys in the room, from the GM and the personnel moves to the coaching with the Raiders. He gets all the power he likes. Mayock will agree to be his wingman. Maybe he wants his own general manager. But owner Ross is straight up delusional. Harbaugh will not join the Dolphins because he's a Michigan booster. Jim Harbaugh wants more than that. He wants an owner who's engaged and focused and lets him do what he wants. He doesn't want to be part of a power struggle, winning the good side of Ross. Brian Flores, he did not have the good side of Ross. I mean, the general manager and all these people, they were able to communicate with the owner on game day, and the coach isn't really able to. So definitely the Harbaugh delusion. But let's be real. If a white coach won 7 straight games, he would have still kept his job. So I say, yes, there's a little bit of racism because Brian Flores is black. And I think it is preposterous that he doesn't get to keep his job. But again, Ross is delusional, and I think Jim Harbaugh is nuts if he decides to join the Bears or the Dolphins. I think he's not going to blow away everything that he's worked for. I think if NFL gives him back the Super Bowl, that he's going to be with the team that is planned to win the Super Bowls, which is Vegas. Now, the only power struggle, the only power dilemma, the only thing that Jim Harbaugh would really be concerned about is for his ego's sake, he may want to get rid of Coach Rich. If he is taking over as the coach and Coach Rich is a special teams coach, because the players are very respected, but Jim Harbaugh has to win over these players. So that's the only thing that could be somewhat of an ego dilemma for Jim Harbaugh. I don't know who the next coach of the Dolphins is, but uh, racism in plain sight. Lovie Smith was fired when he was 10-6. He wasn't that good, but they deserved to go because they were 10-6. Well, how have the Bears have been since then? Who else was black and really good who got fired really quick? Well, Todd Bowles was in a dysfunctional situation. Which other coach out there in recent years would agree like, why did he get fired? I mean, was it Vance Joseph or whatever? I mean, he had a second year. It wasn't 1 year or whatever. He was kind of bad in clock management. There's probably someone else that I'm just not resonating right now in my mind that I'm thinking about. But Harbaugh would never join the Dolphins. He does not want to repeat that episode, stress him out, have to answer questions to the media about that. Jim Harbaugh likes California. He's close to California. He's at similar climate, somewhat with Nevada. I know cold outside during the winters, whatever. Get nice sunshine over there. He's got a running game that is capable of being a power running game if they have the right play caller, I think. And he's got trickery in the Wildcat pistol with Marcus Mariota if you want to switch things up. So some progression, some developments, something that he would be able to utilize. Watching the Cardinals game right now. I'm watching the replay. I think the masses have been scripted to think that this team is one and done. If J.J. Watt wasn't coming back, it's probably a first-round exit. But since J.J. Watt is back, then it's all about J.J. Watt. And then they'll want their Cowboys, Buccaneers pretty much. They'll want the Raiders to win. They'll want the Bills to beat the Chiefs. Raiders won't meet up against the Chiefs until they've got a real coach. I mean, this team still has to get a lot better, even if they win the Super Bowl. That's why Coach Rich will not get the job. I think he'll be the assistant coach. So there'll be some staff turnover before Super Bowl 58, all that right after the Raiders host the Super Bowl. 1 year of playoff disappointment, then dynasty can kick off. Raiders can be America's team, defeating Tom Brady and then beating the Dallas Cowboys for the second Super Bowl. Maybe everybody hates the Raiders for the third Super Bowl championship. Maybe they start to get it. Okay, you remember Jim Harbaugh? Who's better than us? Who's better than us? Right? A little bit of racism, but definitely Jim Harbaugh delusion. The Bears are a cheap organization. I just win baby bowl. Like Jim Harbaugh, raging lunatic on the sidelines. Al Davis would be a raging lunatic in the press box. He fits the Raiders through and through. Coach Jim.